Hello, Blizzard Arena. That's right, we are back. It's the Overwatch League, and guess what?
What?
We have a bit of a new patch. That's right, Rollock has entered the game. There's gonna be 2 tanks, 2 supports, and 2 damage players in every single map. I can't believe it. We haven't seen this since like a long time ago, since like 2018. Let's take a look at it. As you can see, it's gotta be 2-2-2. Players can't change the roles during a map, but they can change heroes within the role, of course. You can change roles between maps, which I'm actually really interested in. That might enter into some interesting strategic decisions, huh?
And also, we have redone our seating order for ease of viewership. It will be 2 damage players from left to right, 2 tanks, and 2 supports.
Easier for you at home to track those ultimates, that's right. But let's talk a little bit about our first match of the day. It's going to be the Houston Outlaws taking on Paris Eternal. Should be an interesting one. Both of these teams still kind of hunting for that overall play-in spot to try to make it to the playoffs at the end of the year.
And realistically right now, so we are having about 8 teams be in contention for these kind of last 2 slots here. As you can see, Justice and Mayhem out of the picture. But for the most part, if you look at the 12th through 18th spot, these are still teams that can contest up into that 10th, 11th, 12th place slot. So there is going to be a lot of action here as we round out this league here in Stage 4. And reminder, we do not have Stage 4 playoffs this time around. Instead, the 7th through 12th teams will be participating in a tournament to get the last 2, the 7th and 8th playoff seeds. The first 6 teams in the league will automatically be seeded into our double elimination playoffs.
Should be hype. Well, without any more, talk about patches and all that kind of stuff. Let's get this match started. Let's introduce our first team. Give it up for the Houston Outlaws. The Houston Outlaws, a team that were a bit resurgent in Stage 3, throwing us a lot more DPS looks before the meta even really began to shift, and it served them well. There's some great damage players on this team, and I think we're going to see that on full display today.
Yeah, interestingly, we also see Cool Matt, who has not been playing the most recently, but is going to be back in the starting roster here on Game 1 on our control map.
Is that really that surprising, though? You're not going to have to worry about flexing onto DPS or support as a flex tank anymore, so that means Cool Matt's back in the game again.
Yeah, it will be Dante and Jake as the starting damage dealers for the Outlaws. Certainly a team that saw increased fortune last stage, made the stage playoffs by putting 3 DPS players in frequently. That's not going to be an option any longer, but still the core of this team is their strength of that damage dealing role.
That's right, their opponents, another team in the playoff hunt. Let's hear it for the Paris Eternal. You and I were talking about this before the match began. It feels like it's been a long time since we've actually gotten to cast Paris.
Yeah, it definitely has been, but this is a team that honestly we thought was going to be great coming into the 3-3 meta, the GOATS meta at the start of the season.
Certainly looked that way, yeah.
And they never really reached that apex of GOATS performance. However, now we're going to see soon Shadowburn coming into the damage dealer roles, and neither of them was ever really comfortable on Zarya, but we know what these players can do from last year. Shadowburn, famous for the Genji and the Pharah, Soon, famous for the Tracer, his Widowmaker play, and these are players that I think are going to be very helpful coming into this new meta.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, this is a great damage lineup to have for your team. You've got one great projectile DPS player, you've got one great hit scan DPS player. You really do kind of, and you hear the crowd chanting soon. It's been a while since I feel like I heard that one, but yeah, they've really got the tools, I think, to excel in a Rollock meta, in that 2-2-2 meta.
Yeah, we see Cloudy coming in. They've been bouncing back and forth between Ben Best and Cloudy over the course of the season. So that will be the start here on Busan. It's a new day, and it's a new meta. I mean, it's going to be exciting. We sort of have inklings about what we might be seeing in terms of dive, as we take a look at Jake, in terms of Orisa Hog going to be very prevalent, possible bunker compositions. But it's a new level of restriction, and this means that people are going to have to be creative, and it's probably going to take a few weeks before we really see the meta develop fully.
You know, going into this week, that's what excited me the most, because you're doing your prep, you're doing your research, you're like, you know what? To a certain extent, we're just going to have to watch the games and see what people do, which I love. I love being able to, like, watch a game and, like, not know, you know, not have any idea what the teams are really going to run. We got things we're thinking, but we don't really know what we're going to see. Our map set brought to you by Toyota. We know what's happening there, though. Busan is going to be our first map for Control, then Volskaya Industries on Assault Blizzard World. Back again for Hybrid, and then finally going to Junkertown yet again. Do you like snipers, Monty? Well,
I love snipers.
Then you're going to like Junkertown, this map for snipers. Let's start things off, though, on Busan, starting things on the Shrine for Control. I wish you could like hit the drum and it would make everybody around it fall down. You know, maybe that'd be a little bit overpowered. Don't let me design games, by the way.
It's all right. No one will, though. Don't worry.
And we are on patch 1.38. So the big changes that happened in 1.37 that kind of carried over were the McCree buff. He got a little bit faster in shooting. Arisa got to throw out her shield a little bit easier. D.Va's defense matrix went from 50 meters to 10 meters. A little bit of a nerf there. Those are kind of the major changes. There's a Torbjorn nerf, but I think that only really affects Mangachu, so that's okay.
Yeah, Houston Outlaws going to be running flanking composition here with Jake on the Sombra. Usually that would be Dante's role, but Dante going to be playing the Tracer right now, back to what he played a lot last season. And you might be wondering why there's a Mei on the Paris Eternal side. Well, it's one of the easiest ways to stop Called Hook as we see the action start.
That kill's coming in from both sides. Going to be ice block from the main. Now Dante picking up another one. This guy's unleashed again. Don't want to wake that sleeping Roadhog though, but it's a freeze on the D.Va, onto Coolmat. Gets hacked as well. Low health. Dante finally taken out by the right click of Shadowburn. Those are so deadly. There's no damage fall off on those right clicks, Monty. They do so much no matter where you are. And you can like one-shot a Tracer with those.
Yeah, you absolutely can. Outlaws still going to be pressing forward here. Remember, they have control over this point despite the fact that they have been losing these fights.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Cruz does go down. Who got frozen? He's got the nano boost though, so it looks like he's going to stay alive. Gets hacked for a moment. Still in a little bit of trouble here. Meanwhile, Coolmat and Dante just go down. So Paris Eternal managing to maybe flip this one. They do lose Trey, and that's another Shadowburn right click onto Dante, actually. If you look at that colored in arrow, that means it's a headshot. Big thing, keep in mind. Already hitting those ones on the Mei. And, you know, I think you're going to need a really good Mei player this meta, honestly.
Yeah,
If you don't have a good Mei player, you're going to be in trouble in the Overwatch League.
Yeah, and part of that has been because of the way that we see so many teams running Orisa Hog. And remember, those take up your tank slots now, so you can't run a D.Va. And in a way, the Mei becomes the easiest way to stop other Hulkwood combinations, right? So having the Mei there, definitely more of a defensive pick, but it's all about that positioning. Outlaws, though, they have so many ways to get around a Mei wall, either on the side or right above it with a Winston and a D.Va. They will be not perturbed, and they've been holding this point the entire time.
And Jake's got this EMP. He's got the tools to keep Paris from being able to assault this here. And Muma gets it with the nano boost, going in, forces the ice block already. Cloudy going down. That was fast. Jake soon to fall as well, and now there goes Soon. So it looks like kills being tried on both sides, but it's already over 90% here for the Houston Outlaws. So even if Paris take it, they've got a mountain to climb in terms of defending this point all the way back up to 100% themselves.
Yeah, Soon and Jake both hitting the EMPs at the same time, so neither team getting a substantial advantage. Finally, Paris, who have been winning a lot of these fights, they actually have one more elimination than the Outlaws, but surprisingly, this is their first control percent.
Yeah.
So they haven't been able to translate those elims, those pickoffs, into the actual objective because of the mobility that the Houston Outlaws have with this composition.
That's kind of a symptom of the meta too, right? If you don't have a bunch of tanks and a bunch of supports, it's hard to stand on the point with less people than usual. Whoa! Whoa! With the exclamation point on the end of that sentence, Dante winning that 1v1. Individual skills going to be a lot more important in 2-2-2. Dante waiting to place that pulse bomb. Probably going to want to stick it right onto Arisa. As usual, the Blizzard goes down. Yeah, but nobody's stepping into it from the Outlaws. Zoning Blizzard, that's how it goes. Anti-heal wears off on Paris Eternal as they move forward to try to keep the point. Finzi back after the one. Nice right click onto Rockets. That does a lot of damage if you get a direct hit with that one. Nano boost meanwhile on a Coolmat trying to stand strong on the point, but not quite able to stay in the mech in doing that. And Paris Eternal starting to hold on to this one. They're bringing it back.
And this is looking really scary. I mean, as we see Paris go above 60%, they're going to get another EMP very quickly here onto Soon. Jake lagging a bit behind in that regard. Outlaws maybe closing in on one fight territory here at the end of this point here on Busan.
Yep. One more try. Maybe 1.5 more tries about for Houston Outlaws to try to retake this one. And that's a good start. Rockets find Soon. That's that deadly Rockets on that Ana, man. You gotta be careful. Yeah, you're right. Jake is close to the EMP. Could be big. There's a stick coming in. Puts Gray between a bomb and an icy wall place. And Houston Outlaws 2 kills already as they work towards turning this one around. They want to retake, and it looks like they're gonna get it. What a play at the end by the Outlaws. They get hacked, but they're winning the fight. It doesn't matter. The EMP just is not gonna make enough of a difference. I don't even know if Paris can get back to the point. They can't, and Houston Outlaws, last moment flip, they'll take the first round.
And that was such a great play in the back line there. So what the Outlaws did is they knew that they had to take out Soon because the EMP was going to be up faster for him. So Raucus was actually shooting across the map, but I think it was Jake in the back line there who was also harassing Soon. So it was really Raucus who got the last hit, but it was the primary damage of the flankers that shut down Soon on the EMP.
Yep, pretty much clutch by Raucus at the end of that one. And I mean, this guy was such a fun support player to watch for so long, and on the Ana, definitely a big part of that. Let's watch him take out Soon one more time.
Yeah, we're gonna see this. He's gonna thread the needle. So you see Jake over there
Oh,
doing most
wow.
of the damage, but it was that pickoff right there. Excellent communication between Jake and Raucus in order to set that up. No EMP, no chance there for
Yeah.
a Paris win.
That was sick. Well, we're moving to the mecha base now. Paris Eternal looking to tie things up here on Busan. We'll see if they can do just that. Houston Outlaws a win in this round. They will win the map. And Soon already down. Dante finishes him off. A full clip and then an uppercut to do it, if I had to guess.
And this is why Dante was brought on, Doa, to this roster. Remember, the Outlaws last season had such trouble at the Tracer position. Now Dante's been unleashed, and he's picking up so many crucial eliminations here at the start of these fights for the Outlaws. Now they can finally run a proper flanking composition.
Shadowburn's right clicks are so accurate. He nearly killed Dante right there. Dante managed to barely escape. Now the hack comes in. Shadowburn trying to run away, can't ice block. When he's hacked, that's a problem, but he gets out. Cruz, not so lucky though. And Houston Outlaws with the edge in this fight. They are gonna get the control percent going first.
Yeah, as soon as Soon dies, it just becomes so difficult for the Paris Eternal to close that out in a 6 versus 5. They did an admirable job. Soon now, he came back with the Sombra instead. Now they're gonna try and just harass him. Dante converging in the back line.
I love it. I love this meta already.
Ooh, nice wall.
Yeah.
Cuts off Muma for the rest of the team.
That's the thing. Shadowburn was known for his Mei for a long time. He's been a great Mei player for quite a bit of his career, and this is a meta where I think he's going to get a lot of time on that hero. If there's any indication, nice stick onto Cruz. Dante coming right back, though, forces a translocator out of Soon as well. And now Jake running in. He's got the EMP translocator over the top. There's the EMP, set it up. Muma already taking out Shadowburn, and Houston Outlaws wasting no point in getting back and denying the take from Paris Eternal.
Not only that, but Shadowbird used his Blizzard, so the EMP basically canceling their ability to follow up on the Mei ultimate in that fight. And Houston Outlaws, again, maintaining that control. They got all the way up towards 99% last time before they had to fight their way back. They're in a similar position, Paris Eternal on the ropes once again, but they have the EMP.
And they've got the tools. They're gonna have the rally as well. Soon looking for the hack. Gets hit though. Hack gets interrupted if you get hit, so you can't really finish that off if you're under fire here. Trying to capture it though. Yeah, Outlaw's getting back just in time to prevent it. Soon translocator off to the side. Wants a place to escape to. Can't quite get the hack in onto Dante before he flashes out of it. Cruz down though. Raucus with one, but Cloudy comes back with a kill on the Cool Mat. Got him off the edge, I believe there. Vinci up on the high ground doing a lot of damage here. And Houston Outlaws starting to kind of struggle a bit. Holding this one, but especially with a hook onto Jake like that. And that's going to be a flip for Paris Eternal. They're going to get a little bit of percentage at least.
And bonus too that they didn't have to use the EMP. And as we look at this, Joe, one of the interesting things we're already seeing is both teams running the Brigida in the support slot.
Yeah.
So on these very close range maps where you can guarantee trigger against fire, it becomes a viable choice. But there's a big trade-off to be made now.
Yeah, it needs to be a close corners point. Otherwise, that Brigida is never going to be able to heal anybody. You don't get the E up enough. The armor packs aren't prevalent enough yet in this patch to heal like that. Hook onto Raucus. Oh, he's going to go down anyway. No one was there to help him. And yeah, that's a problem. His rally was going too at the same time. They didn't get a lot of value out of that ultimate. Shadowburn down. Dante with a nice stick onto the Mei. And as Paris holds. You know, we talked earlier about a lot of teams using the Mei as a response to the Halt hook on the other side. Now, Houston isn't running that. So Paris just kind of confident in Shadowburn's ability to control space. It is a close quarters combat kind of area, so you can use the Mei there too, I suppose.
Instead, they're using the mobility of the D.Va, the Winston, their flankers to deal with it.
Oh, there goes Cloudy. Now the EMP comes in from Jake, and there's a kill in the Shadowburn. Houston Outlaws, they win this fight, they switch it back, and they will probably win this map if they can do it. Yeah, Crew's down, and that's going to be the flip. And is anyone there from Paris to try to respond to this?
It's just a very slow Orisa trying to get back to the point right now.
She's got 4 legs, she should be faster, but she's not. There goes Finzi, and Houston Outlaws get the 2-0 on Busan.
Outlaws ended 40 elims to 22. And finally, we get to see what Dante was picked up for on this Houston Outlaws roster.
The past returns, the age of great Tracer players has come again, and Dante is leading the way. Great first map. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back right after this.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Nerf this!
Welcome back, guys. The Houston Outlaws taking the 1-0 lead over their opponents, Paris Eternal, taking Busan 2-0, as you can see right there. And a good start for the Houston Outlaws. What do you know? Dante, great on the Tracer as well, soon playing pretty well on the Sombra. Getting to see him off of that Zarya is something that we've been looking forward to for a long time.
Yeah, and soon, of course, you know, we got to see the Sombra, but not yet seeing his Tracer. Very briefly the Widowmaker, but swapping back over to the Sombra relatively quickly. But
Sure.
it's an interesting time for sure if we do see some Tracer back again soon.
It's so funny because we're going to start to see players on their actual roles, right? Because we saw many players, so many damage players, either playing the Brigida or playing the Zarya or playing some other off tank or something like that, and that it's not what they were born to do. They were born to do damage. They were born to frag. And finally, we're getting to see Soon do a little bit of that. And yeah, as you can see, 33 hours of Tracer plus Widowmaker played last season. He is, believe it or not, a damage player. Been watching the league this year up to this point. You might not know that.
You might not even know that Hitscan is in the game, though, but it is.
True. You know Widowmaker.
So, of course, Soon also making a name for himself on McCree, a hero that was buffed, can fire faster in the patch that we were on. So, one map out of the way, no McCree yet, but it's a possibility. You know, we see more of the kind of dive compositions that we saw from the Outlaws, because even though we would talk about traditional dive as being Tracer and Genji combined with dive tanks like D.Va and Winston, the Sombra is still another flanking option. And
well, the EMP is just so strong, and as you can see, you can hear from the crowd, Linkser back in again. Dante out for this map, Linkser in, and I wonder what we're gonna see. He's known as one of the greatest counter snipers that we've had in the Overwatch League, meaning that he's really, really good at the Widowmaker 1v1s, but his skills extend obviously to a lot of those hit scan DPS heroes, and a few kind of beyond that as well. So I'm curious what we're gonna see him play. He might end up going with the Pharah actually, but I don't know. We'll see. We're going to Volskaya Industries. I don't like to make any predictions here. We're going to our assault map, and it is important to note. I do.
You like to wildly throw out predictions.
I do. I'm not quite a Bren, but I'm there, right? As you can see, there's been some changes to assault maps. You only get 3 minutes instead of 4 when you take point A, and as a defender, when you lose point A, if you're dead or you die right after that trying to defend, you're only going to have a maximum respawn time of 3.5 seconds. So what that does is it really gives the defending team a great opportunity to have a good solid first defense on B. So what I think that's going to result in, Monty, is we're going to see a lot less 6 to 5 point assault maps. We're going to see these things end a little bit quicker, I think.
Yeah. And certainly with the less time as well, probably we'll have fewer of those time bank runs. Paris Turtle gonna go ahead with Soon on the Widowmaker, otherwise sticking Cruz onto the Mercy and going back to the Mei Hog and Hook combination, or the Halt Hook combination rather.
There is the Linkser Widowmaker. That is why you put this guy in. Oh, and there's Soon's Widowmaker, by the way. Cruz gets a res onto Gray. Point gets a res onto Widow. I feel like we're suddenly back in the first stage of last year, actually. We got Mercy's resing Widowmaker left and right here. Yeah, not instantly, though.
Not instantly.
That's right.
And not twice.
That's a key moment.
Not twice either.
Yeah, thank goodness. Rocket's down, so Paris doing a pretty good job on the defense so far.
Double sniper look from the Houston Outlaws to start things off here, as well as having that bunker buster with, of course.
Whoop, Linkser pulled in by the Halt, and Finzi finishes him off with a right click there.
Now, I'm not really sure if the Outlaws are ever going to be able to run this properly, because even though you have the Storm Arrows and the Dragon Strike to bust the bunker, there's not a lot of shield pressure when you have a Widowmaker and you do not have a Roadhog of your own to really apply a lot of damage into a barrier.
I mean, that's the thing with running Coolman, is for a long time he's been pretty much a D.Va-only player, and I don't know if D.Va's going to be able to break through this.
I think Pullback can play the Hog as well. Nice halt.
Yeah, good help on the Muma. Muma taking a lot of damage. Now Outlaws on the run. They're going to lose Jake, and that's not all. Jake gets res, but Rockets and Coolmat down. Blizzard used just for good measure by Shadowburn to secure that one. Linkser gets a kill onto him, and that's going to be a long run back. So not with the res zone. Never mind. Houston Outlaws kind of back to square one, and they only have 2 minutes remaining now.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this, because right now the Paris Eternal can basically just play the choke point with the Mei wall and the Orisa barrier.
Yeah.
And the snipers they don't have a lot of great targets to one-shot here, and you're not going to get the sight lines while they're playing so far forward. So Outlaws might need to try something different here.
Oh, Muma cut off by the Mei wall. Big trouble. Uses that shift to get the damage reduction for a little while anyway. Now the Dragon Strike comes through. That does push the Paris Eternal back a little bit. They lose their supercharger as well. They displace them. They broke them out of the bunker for now. Can Houston Outlaws, so rotate around effectively. They're going to try. Finzy's got that whole hog, though. That's going to be an ability that Houston should be afraid of, and they should also be afraid of Soon, because he just killed Linkser. That's another Widow will be won by Soon.
Yeah, and there's not really a resable scenario here. They're going to try and get that in, but it's like line of sight was broken there on the self-destruct, so they can't even get Cloudy, who's
Muma
in that bunker, and Muma
so alone.
So afraid.
So, well, he's got full health again. Finzy down. Well, he gets res rather. Soon with another kill onto Linkser. That's 3-0 in terms of Widow v Widow between Soon and Linkser in this round, by the way.
Soon hasn't died yet. He's got 4 final lows. So pretty dominant here from the Eternal. Outlaws.
3 of those have been on Linkser, by the way.
Yeah. Outlaws have not really been making any headway, and finally they're going to change their composition, but it's only 45 seconds left. You're just not going to get an EMP in that time if you're Jake.
I mean, maybe you get a really good pulse bomb, because that does build quickly. I don't know, we've got the Winston coming in as well as the Lucio, so going for kind of a prototypical dive here.
Yeah, they got the nano boost. Like, they have to basically hope Muma can kill a support here with the nano.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, they're all going to jump on the same support probably. Put this over in the Tracer as well. Muma going in. They're going to take out Cloudy. They're just going to go right into the tank. Why not? They don't have the mobility, but the res comes in. Bruce brings Cloudy back, and now Raucus and Boink are both down, so no supports for Houston Outlaws with only about 10 seconds to go. And it might be a different meta, it might be a different stage, but it's kind of looking like the same old Houston Outlaws struggling on the attack yet again.
Yeah, they are, and they were bisected by a really good Blizzard. Muma just gonna try and hide and trigger that overtime. He will be successful. One last push for Houston.
A frantic fight for the Outlaws, but Boink down already. Soon has been such an MVP, and he gets another one right now. I don't think Raucus is gonna live too much longer. At least he's not gonna make it to the point. There's a DMAC on the Kumat, the kill as well. It's skeet shooting for Soon. Couldn't be easier, and Paris Eternal with the full hold.
Yeah, really nice by Soon. 0 deaths for him and Cruz on that round. 22 elims to 4 in favor of the Eternal. All they have to get is that 1 tick on their attack.
The Outlaws barely touched the point. So Paris Eternal put themselves in a position where they only are going to need that 1 tick to get the win here on Volskaya. We'll see if they can do that when we come back.
وريهم قوتك. Cease your resistance. Heroes never die. Team up for special attack.
Absolutely phenomenal defensive effort by the Paris Eternal, stopping Houston Outlaws cold as I tried to take point A. I believe it was not even 1 tick taken. Not a single percent, not a single part of a percent taken by the Houston Outlaws in that attack run. So that means, like we mentioned before the break, all the Paris Eternal team needs to do is take just the first third of that control meter to win the map, tie themselves up in this series.
Yeah, and they were given a gift, I think, by the Outlaws there, who were reluctant to switch their composition.
Yeah.
When you're running double sniper into the Orisa in the May, in that choke point on Volskaya A, you're just never going to realistically be able to set up a crossfire.
Right.
And you're going to get picked off repeatedly. I think that the swap came in late. If they had switched maybe 30 seconds sooner, you might have been able to get that EMP and use that to close out A. But the swap came in at 45 seconds, and it's just, you're not going to do anything at that point.
Yeah, I mean, that swap would have come earlier. You can jump past the bunker, you can force them to reposition, you can give yourself time to make picks, build the EMP. And as social media knows, we know how to strategize Houston Outlaws comps the best, right? We've proven that.
The people,
mostly you have proven that over the course of the year.
I mean, all I'm going to say is that Twitch Plays Houston Outlaws was actually successful. So.
You're right, and it still could be. It still could be. If only they just open their hearts and listen to Twitch. All the Houston fans hate you now.
They already, that's fine.
I know. And I said now, I meant
Forever.
always. Maybe someone.
I mean, they had a really good first map, though, and
Yeah.
I think they could just go back to that. Yes, the architecture of the map is different here, so it's not like you can always say that the same composition is going to work, but their dive comp was really effective on Busan, and I'm not sure that that's going to be that effective here on Volskaya defense. It's a little bit harder to play around that, but there's a possibility they could force a draw here by holding it out.
I think a big part of it, too, is that Linkser was losing those 1v1s against Soon. And, you know, I mentioned before the match began that Linkser was known as a very good Widowmaker 1v1 player, too. So I think that's something that they weren't expecting, too. You expect Linkser to win those duels. And Soon is a great Widow as well, so you're playing a dangerous game. But I think to a certain extent, Houston Outlaws, like a lot of teams are going to be doing in this new meta, are going to be counting on their players to make plays. You know, which sounds strange to say, but the last meta, the 3-3 meta, was so ult coordination dependent that there wasn't a lot of like individual playmaking opportunity. I think teams need to rely on their players to do that, and I think that's what Houston tried to do. You can't blame them when you got people like Linkser on the Widow, right?
Yeah, we're definitely getting back to that, and I think the Outlaw strategy of running double sniper definitely going to be better as a defensive effort here because you naturally have the crossfire on the point.
Yeah.
You're going to post your snipers on opposite sides. You're going to put the Hanzo behind the Orisa because the Widow has the grapple to get over to the other side if she gets into trouble.
Yep.
Cool Matt's going to be playing the point right now and doing some scouting just so they can't get any free percentage. And it's going to be some swaps here coming in from the Paris Eternal. Shadowburn over to the Hanzo, so they will be going double sniper because they can set up a crossfire because there's no defense at the choke. So
Right.
you can get through and then reposition.
You got to win those 1v1s, though.
And interestingly,
Oh, and that Shadowburn winning a 1v1 against Jake. Suddenly it's a 6v5, 6v6 as point comes in for the res, but it's a dangerous game. Linkser finds the kill on Soon, and that's what he was missing all last round. Finally gets it this time around. And Crew's running that Batiste too, which is kind of interesting.
so the Batiste here is good because you're going to be able to set up the amp matrix. Also, Batiste did get buffed in terms of his healing.
Right.
His clip size in the most recent balance patch that occurred.
He's got a few more bullets, a few more heals to throw out there. His left and right clicks. Pretty great. Look at this Outlaws though. Outlaws got to get on the point, man. Paris has nearly taken it. They only need that one pick. There goes great. Linkser finds one. Muma does get res. He's back in the fight right now, but Cool Matt taking on Muma down to like 0 HP. They're trying to keep him up with the Mercy, but you can only do it for so long, and that should be the map as Shadowburn comes in with the 3K. That'll be it. Paris Eternal tying up this series with a win on Volskaya Industries.
Very smart, just building the amp matrix, parking themselves on the point, and it forces those tanks from the Outlaws to drop. You're playing into the amp matrix. You have so much more damage to put into their barrier, so they create a hard point on the corner, realize that's going to be a very fast Volskaya as we head into halftime, tied up 1-1.
Sure enough, great series to start off stage forward. Don't go anywhere, guys. Halftime when we come back.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile. And by State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right.
C'est aimable de ta part. Heroes never die. Team up for special attack. Cease your resistance.
Houston and Paris are both hoping to take advantage of the new 2-2-2 meta here in Stage 4 and climb back into the top 12 in our standings. So far, it's a split series. It's Puckett alongside Zoe and Bren in two very entertaining games. We're seeing some of the new strategies already being implemented.
Yeah, we do indeed, and I love what we're seeing. It's fast-paced, it's everything we really wanted from this new meta, and that's exactly what we're getting. And I do love that it is 1-1 right now. We saw Houston Outlaws playing to their strength in that first round. I loved that they had Dante in on Tracer, and he really, he showed us why he was being picked up by that team. Phenomenal play from Dante on that Tracer. We didn't see Linkster in, instead Jake was in there with him, and Muma looking very, very comfortable on that Winston role when they're playing dive. When he gets to flank, like this is where he excels.
Is this the new look of Houston, do you think, Zoe?
I certainly hope so.
Yeah, I think it is absolutely as well, because this seems to be the style that suits the Houston Outlaws. Like we've already mentioned, it suits Muma's style of Winston, of playing very passive, almost like a flanking style. But Houston Outlaws were always criticized for not having a Tracer player. They pick up Dante in the offseason last year to try and remedy this, and now we're finally seeing it pay off massively, because the guy is an absolute freak on that role. And you can definitely see where Houston are excelling on this, but where they stop excelling is when they're forced to try and opt into that Winston Roadhog sort of combos that we saw into map 2 on Paris. And that's where we saw Paris really excel overall.
So can we talk about this Paris squad? Because Soon was getting shut down all of map 1, but then you start looking at the kill feed.
Yeah.
Soon is showing up time and time again. And it seems like Paris a totally different team here on Volskaya.
Yeah, it's because as well, Houston Outlaws, they have to opt into this composition here. And you can see Shadowburn on the Mei. We're going to be seeing a lot more Mei in, I feel like, throughout all of Stage 4. It's very good at kind of disrupting a lot of what these teams like to run. Like Monsignor have already been mentioning during the cast, it really excels at breaking up the whole hook combos.
It didn't really make sense for them to run it on that first map. Here, we saw a lot more use from that Mei. Overall, I was very amazed really to see Soon popping off so hard on that Widowmaker, because Linkster is known to be a very good counter sniper. He's supposedly very good, but Soon took the lead right from the get-go, and he was the one fragging out. And Linkster and Jake as well, they got nothing done for the Houston Outlaws, unfortunately.
Now, Brent, outside of the DPS here, as we're also keeping an eye on Cruz on that Baptiste, is this something you're expecting more from?
Well, that's just like a tailored strategy. I call for that particular clip that we saw at the end with the Baptiste ult, because it's really, really interesting to see how teams are doing it. I think Paris, they play that composition so well. They know exactly to pressure out the right people, lay down the ultimate. They have to contest the point, because if they walk over it, they lose the map. So you just blow them up the Baptiste ult. It was great to see.
We got plenty more in this match, but right now it's time for our T-Mobile MVP checkpoint. That's right. Now, we've been talking quite a bit over the last couple of weeks about our favorites for the T-Mobile MVP this year, and the time has finally arrived. Our top 5 candidates for the T-Mobile MVP are locked in. So let's take a look at who made the cut for 2019. With our 5 T-Mobile MVP candidates, we should also
We've
mention,
seen
guys,
some
the polls are
amazing
open.
skill this season, but in the end, there can only be one pro that takes home the Overwatch League MVP award, sponsored by the good folks at T-Mobile.
New players have risen through the ranks to become stars, while League veterans fight to remain on top. Now, the time has come to immortalize another player in the halls of esports legends and crown the 2019 Overwatch League MVP, presented by T-Mobile. Here are your MVP finalists.
Sinatra's been playing like a man possessed.
Sinatra,
Janu is certainly up there, best diva in the league.
Janu, Super,
Twilight gets in there, so Twilight can handle himself.
Twilight,
Is Primal Rages? I've never seen a player who's more mechanically skilled, I think.
Gushui. The winner will be determined by you, the fans, as well as Overwatch League casters and analysts. Cast your vote on Twitter using hashtag OwlMVP and the player's battle tag, or during any remaining regular season broadcast on Twitch. Voting ends on August 25th, so let your voice be heard. It's your league, your decision. Who will you choose as this season's T-Mobile Overwatch League MVP?
All right, you love to see it. We got some Vancouver players. We got some shot guys in the building. Goochway is up there. Any surprises for you in the Final Five?
That's always such a hard question, because I feel like you can make a really good argument for the majority of the players in the entire league. Everyone has their big performances and everyone is an MVP in their own right. I'm just happy to have Goochway in there already, since he's one of my absolute favorites.
I like this guy. He's yelling bumper, mono, just any main tags. I love you, Alex. I love you, buddy. Big fan right there. But guys, you have a voice. Let your voice be heard right now. Submit your vote using the hashtag OWLMVP for the 5 candidates. And also, we got a new little tool built into Twitch right now. You can go and submit your vote. At the end, the winner will be decided by your votes, as well as ballots from media members, coaches, casters, and analysts, and we'll announce the winner during the season playoffs here at the Blizzard Arena. So much talent, only one vote. That's all you need to put in. That's it for our T-Mobile Checkpoint. Guys, we still have 2 more games. Let's finish this fight. You went with Houston, Zoe. Bren, you went with the Paris Eternal. Who comes out on top after this first half sample?
Well, Pocket, I guess we were about to find out. I honestly don't know. I think it could be a coin toss. It all comes down to the maps and the set strats each of the teams are bringing to the table.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to stick with my Paris pick, honestly. They looked way more comfortable running the Orisa Roadhog. I think that's what we're going to be seeing across all the maps in this pool so far. It suits the double sniper. It suits the Orisa Roadhog. I'd be very surprised if Paris don't come out on top.
Paris on top, according to Bren. Let us know, guys. Who's cheering for Houston? Who's siding with Bren and wants to see Paris win this one?
Couple of Frenchies.
Split 50-50. Not really, but that's what we're going to answer at the end of this one. Thanks for watching Halftime. We'll be back with Game 3 after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
Heroes never die. Team up for special attack. Cease your resistance.
Welcome back to the Overwatch Overwatch League, I'm Mika Burton, and the score is currently tied 1-1 between the Houston Outlaws and the Paris Eternal. I spoke with the Paris Eternal during halftime and asked them about their roster decisions heading into Stage 4 with the introduction of Roll-Lock. And Paris told me that during the stage break, they underwent a damaged player trial phase to figure out who their 4 damaged players would be most suitable for the starting roster. And as we've seen, Soon and Shadowburn came out on top as the 2 superior damage players. The Paris Eternal are looking forward to showcasing this duo, knowing that the fans have been eagerly awaiting for the duo's appearance since Stage 1. Will these 2 carry the Paris Eternal to victory? Well, we'll just have to find out in Map 3. But for now, back to you, Monty and Doa.
Thank you, Mika. No surprise there, really, with that one, that those 2 guys are coming on top. I kind of wonder if, like, Cruz jumped in that too. He's like, I used to play Genji, guys. Give me a chance.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the coaches shut that one down
Probably.
pretty quickly.
He's been a solid support. He's been a playmaking Lucio, which has been fun to see.
That's right. That's right. Good stuff. Good stuff. By the way, that MVP conversation at halftime.
Yeah.
You know, the question was, what do you guys think about that MVP? I think Janu's the 7th best player on his team, and I'm sad not to see Mono there. So there's your hot take for you guys.
I don't find that too hot of a take, actually. You know, I think I said on Twitter this morning. I said on Twitter this morning, like, I think Janu's had a good year. I think he's had a great year even, but I don't know if he's had an MVP year in my opinion. So I'm a little bit surprised to see him on that list. It's okay though if you like him, go and vote for him. Why not? Don't let our opinion, spoil your love of Janu if that's what you have.
No, let my opinion spoil your love of Janu.
No, I say follow your heart. And if you love
I say follow your head.
If your head, even if your head thinks something that Monty and I actually think is wrong, follow it anyway. You don't have to take our word for it. We're going to Blizzard World, and that's right, guys, stick around, because later, during the Shanghai Dragons Vancouver Titans halftime, we'll announce the 2019 playoff schedule and have more oh-so-special announcements. So definitely stick around until then. Ooh, special announcements.
Your favorite.
That's right. Are those my favorite kind of announcement? I mean, really, any announcement can be special under the right circumstances.
Everyone deserves a medal, Noah. All right, calm down there.
Hey, I got a couple of those participation ribbons back in grade school. That's right, mostly for the sports ball. You know me.
And that's why he's in esports now.
That's right. I took
Participation was the best he could get.
I took that experience and I turned it into good decisions. Houston Outlaws on the defense, Paris Eternal on the attack here on our hybrid map on Blizzard World. Moving here pretty quick. That assault map was definitely one of those blink and you miss it kind of situations. We got double sniper on both sides, but Houston Outlaws again going with the Orisa Diva rather than the Orisa Roadhog. Cruz, though, on the attack with the Batiste again. And one of the things that's really cool about this is that it's tough to kill the immortality field when you're running double sniper on the other side. That takes a lot of attention away from people that are fighting for their lives at the time as well, and just slower. So I love that adaptation of adding the Batiste in there.
Yeah, it's also the barrier pressure as well. Again, the Roadhog adds a little bit more. It doesn't matter if Linkster's gonna hit the shot though, got the crossfire. They're still gonna try and get some damage done. Not going to be too much though, as Muma takes out Gray. So it is gonna be a bit of a retreat right here. Cruz now flipping away from the Batiste.
If you kill the Batiste, he can never put down the immortality field, so problem solved right there.
There you go.
Then he switches onto the Mercy, so they've handled it quite well. So it's going to be Mercy Zen on the Paris Eternal on the attack side. You get a little bit more damage coming in from the Zenyatta that way. Whoa, and point down soon. Finds a big pick. Oh, Crusoe down as well. It's a bad day for Mercy so far on Blizzard World. Nice hook onto Rockus, and that's both supports out of the way now on the Outlaws. Jake, though, turns it around with a big Dragon Strike onto Finzi and Gray. Cloudy not done yet. He does kill Cool Man, but probably does go down. So what this is all going to result in is maybe a tiny edge for Paris, as they're going to have a little bit quicker of a respawn.
Shadowburn actually lived through that, though, which is pretty important because he's not going to get Stagger eliminated right there. He's going to give them an opportunity to come back just a little bit faster. Soon, waiting on that infra site right now. We'll have it just a hair faster than Linkser.
Everybody's back on both teams right now. Soon as the infra site up, can see through walls for a little while. Widowmaker ultimate, trying to find that shot to the Hanzo, can't quite do it.
You know, having that infra site up faster does push the Outlaws back out of the sightlines and further back onto the point, so it becomes impactful.
Uh-oh, Cool Matt out of the mech right now. And Link's 1v1. All right, coming through, looks for the Mercy instead. Cruz down Jake, he finds him instead. Houston Outlaws trying to stay alive on this point, but they're losing too many people. Looks like Paris Eternal are probably going to be able to grind this fight into a point and take. They've only got to get a little bit more to finish it off.
Yes, trying to zone them out with the snipers right now, force them to be in the sight lines to recontest.
That's a lot of damage on the Muma! Oh, Shadowburn just fills him full of storm arrows. Didn't have his cooldown for that damage reduction, so Ariza just kind of waddling away sadly as she gets filled with arrows. It hurts. It hurt to watch.
And plenty of time for the Paris Eternal here, nearly 4 minutes to get their way through B. Yep. Outlaws trying to make some space here, but so far it has been the Paris Eternal controlling that high ground, but it's a nice pick off for Jake. Jake's been getting a lot of these eliminations on the Hanzo so far, a couple crucial ones on the Cruz, and now taking Shadowburn out as well.
Yeah. Another Dragon Strike available for Jake as well. Got a 2K with that one last time. Looking for the Storm Arrow 1v1, but has to back off after getting clipped by the Widowmaker. It's a good place to set up here. It can be a little bit hard to break through sometimes. Cloudy low health. He had to take a break. Back off. There's the halt as he pulled him into a hook. There's Finzi with the hook from on top. Low health though, so he had to just take a breather and run out. Widowmaker's picking up kills, but that payload throughout all of this starting to move forward a bit. Res onto Gray, but there goes Raucus. Zenyatta on the Outlaws side falling, and that payload might get a bit of distance now.
Yeah, it's a 4 versus 3 right now. Cool Matt out of the back. And Muma will fall back alongside Linkser. They know they can't take this fight any further. They're gonna have to give up some payload progress, but they will be able to enact another defense here on point B.
Yeah, the Widow v Widow. Duel continues soon, looking for it. Settles for a headshot on a Muma instead. Muma down to like 25 HP for a second there. Dangerous moment for him. Whoa, Jake finished off Shadowburn. Gets him in the Hanzo 1v1. Boink, of course, there for the res. You can bring those snipers back pretty often in the back lines with the Mercy. So a pick doesn't always mean a long time kill. Coolbat in big trouble now. Takes a breather to try to survive, but he can't quite do it. He couldn't back off. The Dragon Strike was coming through.
Yeah, it was a really good Dragon Strike to separate the members of the Houston Outlaws. Now they're going to try and fight for the rest of this point. They've got 4 members up. It's only this Widow on the card, and they will complete B.
Yep. Paris Eternal making good time so far in Blizzard World. They've got about 3 minutes to try to finish point C now.
Here we go. Inversight up, can make some space here for soon.
Yep.
Once they get that payload into the Diablo phase of this map.
Gotta be careful.
Don't need to use it too far in advance. Shadowbird now making the switch off over to the Mei. Makes sense in this enclosed area. Wall becomes much more useful.
That's right. Definitely an edge with the Mei here. Close the other points. Nice hook on the Coolman again. Gets picked soon. Finds one on the Boink too, and Mercy can't bring herself back. That's going to be a spot time everything have to wait for.
Whoa.
Ooh, soon, very aggressive.
3 HP.
3 HP, man. Barely getting out. Rocket's not so lucky, and Paris Eternal continues to just sort of carve their way through the Houston Outlaws roster.
And this has just been free payload movement this entire time. They've been getting pick-off kills one by one, so Outlaws hasn't been at full strength. Linkser now going to be playing the Mei as well, but they are in dire straits at the moment. One fight is all Paris needs.
I mean, you get that long delay at the end with the Mei. If you're lucky, Muma does get the kill on the Finzi. Gets that finishing blow. They've got the supercharger. Dragon Strike coming through soon to the kill onto Linkser, though. So the Mei is out. Nice hook onto Shadowburn, and that's the kind of defensive play you need to keep Houston in the game. And that's another one. That's another one of those plays as well. Headshot on the Widowmaker. Yep, we'll take that too.
Yeah, Jake's having a good map, and again, the Dragon Strike there, effective. It cut off the Mercy, so they weren't going to be able to get a res on the side of Paris Eternal, and they get the exit kill. So nicely done there, buys them time, and now they can entrench themselves here on point C.
Yep. Another halt. Storm Arrow thrown into that one. Cloudy, not so lucky, gets taken out. Gets res though, and now Shadowburn down. So, even though the res came through, Paris is gonna have to back up again.
Soon, let's see where he's going. He is on a mission around the flank right now, towards the spawn room.
Oh.
So it's gonna be a setup of a crossfire. And classic Soon, it's a back cap, we missed this.
They found it. They're gonna get there in time, but that's some good distance on the payload. Just some Soon being sneaky. We used to call him Sneaky Soon, in fact, for that reason.
Not the best coordination with the rest of his team. They would have liked to have been able to get a pick off on the other side, so a little bit of a missed timing, but maybe they can do something.
A nice white Maywall blocks it out of that whole hog.
Blizzard.
Matt gets frozen, that's right. Shadowburn turning that into a kill onto Jake right now. Turns around, tries to find one onto the other. May links her down. Finzi gets him with the whole hog. Walking forward, now Cool Matt in trouble. And that payload is just begging to be pushed at this point. Outlaws with only 3 people remaining, but the Dragon Strike catches Shadowburn when he's not ready for it. Can they push it the rest of the way? Brez comes in on the Shadowburn, so they've got their May back, and there goes Muma. Blizzard comes in though, and Gray's gonna get frozen. He's got the May wall between him and certain death, but not anymore. Does he get out? No, he doesn't. Jake finishes him with the Storm Arrow. Soon comes after the pick as the Shadowburn though. Paris Eternal still trying to fight this one out, but I think they're gonna have to back off. The respawns for Houston are just too good.
I mean, they can't back off, though. There's not enough time.
You're right.
Soon he's gonna have to pull onto this card.
Gotta do something. Cloudy gets back in there with the Wrecking Ball, forces that overtime. Can they stay back on again? He's got no health remaining. Goes in for the slam. Cool Matt down. There goes Rockus Soon making picks. And there's Finzi as well. They're not done yet. Soon with 2. Looking for a little bit more. Cruz got the boop onto Jake as well. And now it's just Muma spinning around the cart, and he's down. And they are going to finish in overtime.
Paris coming up clutch. They had to swap some heroes over. Cloudy on the Wrecking Ball, able to just stall long enough to get the Diva onto the point. Open sight lines for Soon.
That's what
2
I'm talking
pickoffs. Really nice from the Eternal. They do finish in OT here, but they finish all the same.
Houston Outlaws goes on the attack when we come back. Paris Eternal getting it done on attack here on Blizzard World. They did it in overtime, so they don't have any time left in the time bank, but they were able to complete all 3 points, and that puts a lot on Houston to try to equalize. Yeah, especially with that bad attack on Volskaya, man. That's gotta be still fresh in their memory.
Yeah, Houston has struggled on assault and hybrid attacks, but new meta, and that will make hopefully a bit of a difference for them.
I don't know what that is, but
for lock and roll.
I want to eat it. I don't want to eat it. Soon. You're gonna get a 3K here, and this was just a beautiful thing. Oh man, that was brutal, but it was a beautiful thing otherwise. And that
the cancel on Jake's ult.
Finzi came in, kept the payload going, and then opened it up for Soon to make that play that delivered them the point. And that's what we're talking about, where the individual plays are going to be so much bigger in this meta, because you're just not going to be able to make those big wombo combo ult comps like we saw in the previous meta.
Yeah, that was gross though too. The cancel on the Dragon Strike, and then I mean Soon, the back cap. Soon is such an instinctual player, and we saw these back caps so many times last year on the Tracer, and he really is good at sneaking around as a lone operator and disrupting defenses. And we saw that a little bit. It was not the best coordinated that time around, but he'll keep doing that for you, and it's always something you have to think about when you play against Soon.
Oh, that was a halt into a kill from Jake. Nice start for Houston, but then Linkser went down, so can they get the... They can't get a rest because they're running point on Batiste actually. There's the hook. He's going to bring in Roadhog right now, and now Cool Matt in trouble, goes down. Anti-heal onto Muma though. So So Houston needs to back away to heal their Orisa a little bit. They're going to back away anyway. Rocket's not going to get to. Shadowbird finishes him off with the right click.
Paris was so strong on Volskaya, playing in the choke with this composition. They seem very comfortable with it.
Yep.
This time will be soon on the Hanzo. So still an opportunity to get some long sight lines, but especially once you get onto that point, the storm arrows at close range can be really devastating.
Oh yeah, it's like a shotgun basically.
So I like switching over to the Hanzo, allows you to have kind of the best of both worlds. Not quite as good as the travel time on the projectile as the hit scan Widowmaker, but you make up for it by having a lot more potency at close range.
Uh-oh. Well, Jake down already. And Maywall, they're still going to try to push a bit. Just trying to save Coolmat, actually, as he disengages now. And those hold hooks, there you go. You saw Maywall block the hook right there. And you have a chance to block it when it goes out and when it comes in, too. So you can bounce it off the wall, or if somebody gets grabbed, the wall can stop it from being pulled back. To make it
the ante.
So much damage, too, coming from that Storm Arrow. Shadowburn gets one with the Blizzard, and Houston just making no progress, man. It's looking like the Volskaya attack again already.
2 minutes out of their 4 on this A attack.
Yeah.
Drained off the clock. But Houston, now they've got the Batiste. And so this next push is what's going to be critical, because having that amplification matrix gives you more barrier pressure, but you have to make it to the point first to sort of set up your camp on the corner, like we saw from Paris on their Volskaya attack.
They're going to try going right up the middle again. Taking around here, you can also shoot the Dragon Strike through that too.
So the issue is if you use this here, they can just walk away.
Yeah.
Or unless they get one shot there.
I mean, it's a big pick. Drake gets res though. So not done yet, and here comes a Dragon Strike. Takes up the Immortality Field. Dragon Strike from Jake comes through, but it doesn't matter. Kasoon is already getting 3 on the Hanzo. 1 with the ult, 2 with pure skill. And Houston Outlaws sent back to spawn again with only about a minute left.
The problem with that amp matrix is if you can't force the enemy team to play into you, it doesn't have a lot of value. Because they'll just walk, as we saw right there, they'll just walk behind cover, and the amp matrix just doesn't do anything. Like, you're not contesting an objective at that point in time. So a little bit preemptive there, I think, from the Houston Outlaws. They're coming back with 4 ults, though, and especially that Blizzard could be enough to push them over the finish line.
Yep. All right, oh, Moom already in a lot of trouble. Got that shield down just in time to save his life. Linkzer's Barrage. It's going to need to be a good one, but you can cover most of the point with it, though. So it's a nice setup. Throws a Barrage in there. All right, puts down the wall, tries to make it difficult for the Orisa to get out, but the Dragon Strike comes through from Soon to displace the members of Outlaws. Jake does go down. There goes Linkzer. The DPS player's out already, and now Houston scrambling again. Coolmat down, Shadowburn gets res, and Paris Eternal with a lot more people on the point.
Yeah, and Paris just so ready for that. Notice who was actually on the point. They knew the Blizzard was coming, so they leave the Orisa who can't get CC'd, and then they have Shadowburn just ice block on the Mei, so the Blizzard gets no value because they're able to wait it out with those abilities.
So big swaps from Houston coming in. They've got Moom on the Wrecking Ball, Linkzer over on the Tracer. They need to make plays, they need to make a pick, or this map is over right here, right now. They keep it into overtime, but Linkzer already taken out by Soon. Shadowburn with another Blizzard available, and he's just gonna drop it on the point almost immediately. Why not? Goodbye, Boink. And goodbye, Houston Outlaws' chances here on Blizzard World. Match isn't quite over yet, but it is gonna be Paris Eternal, after losing the first map, winning 2 in a row, taking the lead in this series.
And that's Paris Eternal full holding in back-to-back maps.
Yep.
Pretty big dominance from the Eternal squad after losing that first control map. And we're going to be headed to Junkertown now. Another double sniper look most likely here on Game 4.
Should be a lot of fun either way. We will see if the Houston Outlaws can tie up the series and send us to map 5 when we come back.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
Everyone, stick together.
Lights off.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We got the grand finals in Philadelphia coming up a little bit later this year. That's right, go to overwatchleague.com for tickets. It's going to be an awesome time. And, you know, will we see one of these two teams possibly get there? I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but we did see a team at the very bottom of the playoffs last year. Philadelphia Fusion made a run all the way through and made it to the grand finals. So there is a precedent. It's been set already.
I mean, we had the 5th and 6th seeds, the literal bottom 2 seeds of our playoffs make it to the finals.
There you
Not
go.
very usual, but in terms of sports or esports, but it did end up happening. So especially with the play-in tournament that we're going to have run at the end of the season, can make it all the way to Philadelphia.
Certainly possible. That's going to be the exciting part at the end of the stage. We're going to Junkertown. It's going to be our escort map. And the Paris Eternal could win it right here with a win on Junkertown, or the Houston Outlaws could send us to a tiebreaker map 5. We've seen a lot of double sniper already today, and I think we're going to see the same thing, as this was kind of the original double sniper map way back in the day, especially here on Point A, and for some teams, all the way through.
I mean, even earlier this season, we still saw basically the same meta on this map, because these really long sight lines on A, it was difficult to play GOATs through Point A at the very least. Obviously, Point C was a different issue, but when we think about it, it was always the same meta here on Junkertown at the start of the map, and see if that's going to hold true again. Obviously, the pirate ship, double barrier with Bastion, always a possibility as well. At this time, Paris is going to be on the attack first. Batiste is in now, and that means it's going to be double sniper with Hog and Batiste here.
Yeah, I like it. All right, Soon already hunting for targets. Got an amazing scoreline on the last map, actually. As you can see, wow, great timing for that one. Soon getting a kill. Everything's great timing. Soon gets a kill. We got the great graphic come on. Shows how much of a boss he was on the last map, and then he gets another kill.
Yeah,
that was perfect television right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Perfect. I mean, not only did he have 25 final blows, he had 34 out of 60 elims and 34% of his team's damage. So Soon had a major performance. They were on Blizzard World, and he was very close to what we call a Fleta deadlift, which is getting half your team's final blows, which is extremely rare.
Shadowburn not to be left out. Finds one in his 1v1. Oh, now.
Caster curse.
There you go, yep, as soon as we talk about it. It's the second time we've done that to him today. Lynx are getting one. There goes Cruz, but the payload's gonna roll through the end of A anyway. There's no contest.
No. And speaking of flooded deadlifts, Soon currently achieving that with 2 out of his 3 of his team's final blows.
Smaller sample size than we're used to.
Very smaller sample size. We'll see where it ends up when we finish Junkertown here.
Building that hype. Oh, Jake taking out Gray. But you got a fast respawn for the attackers here. They got Point A, that's the important thing. Crew's there for the res anyway. Jake down. Shadowburn comes back for a bit of revenge. Avenging the Zenyatta, even though he was already res. So is it really vengeance then? Or is it just for fun? I don't know. Dragon Strike opportunity for Shadowburn here. Well, not the defense matrix. There we go. Whoa, they'll take that. All right, Shadowburn down though. Kumat comes in, and meanwhile, this payload is still moving. So while this fight is happening, that payload has made so much progress.
Infrasight going to be used to cut off any reinforcements here from the Outlaws, but it might not matter, Doa.
Yeah, Houston Outlaws able to actually turn that fight around and finally get a little bit of breathing room here on point B.
Yeah, ends up being a really bad trade for the Eternal. When you put Shadowburn in that aggressive position and the tanks are in that bunker, okay, you can kill Muma, but he's gonna get rezzed immediately. And then you have 2 tanks sitting on Shadowburn's body and not an opportunity for Cruz to res him. So not the best play there for the Paris Eternal. Now they're gonna have to figure out a new way to attack here through the rest of B.
Yep. And the hook brings in Muma, and he's gonna go down. That's a good start for the attack here for Paris Eternal.
Try and make space for the res.
Yep, that's
Doesn't
right.
work.
Finzi with another one on Deboink. Finzi's Roadhog has been so impressive today, by the way. He's been hitting a lot of those hooks, making a lot of plays with his right click as well. Everything you want a good Roadhog to do. Gray down, though. But I don't know. I think Paris might still have enough to contest this here. They're gonna try it with Cool Matt out of the mech. That is something. Jake down as well. Soon just comes in for the smooth 2K, and that's point B.
So doing work there on the Widowmaker, dies
Oh,
again.
all right, well.
He's very good at dying at the end of these points to Linkser, but they're basically junk time kills because the respawn is moving forward. There's not really a possibility for the Houston Outlaws to stop the payload because they're in the door animation. So
Soon just gets tired.
He
needs a little bit of a break, and he's like, all right, you can kill me now. Need that 8-second break.
They're pity limbs for Linkser.
That's right. Pity elimination. Wow. Shadowburn, oh. No pity from Muma there as he finishes it. 4:25 on the clock now for the Paris Eternal. Plenty of time to push through C, but it does get a little bit trickier here without the use of the triple tank, triple support now.
And they're going to react to that by, again, we saw Paris Eternal do this on point C of Blizzard World when things get a little bit more narrower, the architecture closes in on these maps, and that's going to be Shadowburn back onto the main. Meanwhile,
sometimes you just get him with the right click. What can you say? Sometimes you just get him with a Widowmaker headshot a couple times too. Soon down. So a lot of kills coming in on both sides right now. Linkser finds another one onto Gray. So Houston finally holding here. Linkser coming alive with the 3K. Make it a 4. Nope, too late. Raka steals that one. And hey, he earned it. Oh! Sunsai returned the favor. And you need a break, Linkser.
I don't know if he's going to be able to res that. It's going to be a little bit difficult to get in there. And yeah, they try and put the barrier down, but they can't get the res off. So now Paris has
risky,
player power play potentially for just a moment.
Oh, they need to get there really fast to use it, but...
Yeah, they're not going to get there in time.
Oh, soon. Nice May wall to block any shots from coming in onto him. That's a defensive May from Shadowburn. Gray down, though. Rockus with the Zen 1v1. And, oh, SMG time. Jake doesn't care. He doesn't care, man. He just turns around, puts an arrow. His head. And, oh, Battle Mercy coming in from Cruz. He's like, yeah, I used to be a DPS. I can still do this once in a while. I still remember that Mercy has a gun.
All right, the rise of Neptuno might happen later today in our Philadelphia Fusion game for the Battle Mercy credit.
It's basically him and Neptuno right now. I remember that Mercy has a gun. Might be a couple unforgettable.
Here we go. Coming in. Supercharger going to be used to just zone people out. Doesn't help, though, as Linkser picks up another one on Nasoon.
I mean, if there was a time for Linkser to come alive, the time is now. Jake gets a kill on the Gray as well, who's trying to chase down Linkser, but couldn't get it. Nice shot from Shadowburn with that right click. But Paris Eternal having to back away anyway. Linkser with another kill. Houston Outlaws really fighting to try to send us to map 5.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes about. Already on point. Oh. Take it off the clock. Linkser.
Oh, he's in his head now.
Using the infrasight, has that advantage.
He's not talking about the bullets in his head. I mean, he's in his head psychologically as well. So that happens. These Widow 1v1s, man. The momentum can change.
Now, Paris needs to calm down. Throughout this C attack, the ults have been haphazard. They've looked a little scattered, not coordinated in terms of their assault. So this is their chance to really close out this series.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be stopped short here of the end on point C, especially when they came in with just so much time.
Comes the Dragon Strike, and if Paris moves forward, that's even more damage onto them. Yeah, you can see the May wall has to go down. Gets broken through right away. Gray getting resurrected after falling. Jake's ultimate. Another defensive May wall for Shadowburn as they try to push forward here. They keep having to do that to break up that halt-hook combo like we talked about. And Blizzard time. Oh, that got canceled. Blizzard never got out there. Linkser got the headshot before the animation completed.
Crucial pick off for Linkser.
Who needs defense matrix anyway?
Linkser just on fire right now.
Yeah.
Outlaws getting a lot of value with these shutdowns. Cruz changing it up. He wants to be on the Batiste. They have a nano boost, but not a really good nano boost target. Finzi probably going to be it for the whole hog.
Lynx are having such a great round right now. Finzi in trouble again. He goes down. Jake taken out though. It's a 5v5 at the moment. Lynx are looking for another one on the Batiste maybe. Jake gets rezzed.
Yeah, really
got 6 people. Whoa, hello. A wild Shadowburn appears. He's in trouble though. And Kumat gets slept. It was a whole hog, I believe, that pushed Shadowburn out of there to begin with. Goodbye, Cruz. And it really looks like Houston has a good chance of holding this one here on C. Only 20 seconds left now for Paris.
Yeah, do or die territory for the Paris Eternal. That means Finzi goes onto the wrecking ball here just so they have an opportunity to have something touch the payload. Especially through that infra site, they're going to know that ability is up. He's looking for the wrecking ball right now, but wrecking ball fast enough, maybe.
Oh! Lynxer, untouchable right now in this round, just when his team needed him. That's a solid hold on point C. They've still got some work to do on attack, but at least they got the stop before Paris was able to get 3 points.
Yeah, Outlaws there. Over 4 minutes of defensive time, and a lot of it was due to Lynxer.
Yeah,
getting the headshots, shutting down ultimates.
It was something like 4:15 on the clock, I think, when Paris started on point C. So that was a point that you would expect if you saw that time bank they'd be able to take with some time to spare. But yeah, really Lynxer more than anything.
Yeah, Raucus as well, quietly having a very good map. Only was eliminated one time, very low pressure onto the supports, but he was getting a lot of pickoffs as well. We're going to take a look at some battle mercies. Cruz.
Death from above. Why not? All right. Sure, do some damage.
Got another one, pulling out the blaster again. Jake.
Oh, why did you
wreck
me only to die?
Jake dying twice to the blaster of Cruz.
That's right. That's how you get in their head. That's how it works. Actually, it didn't work in the end. But
that's how it could work.
Jake won't be affected by something like that. It's like, yeah, enjoy it while it lasts, Mercy. Now the Houston Outlaws go on the attack. All they need to do is push it maybe about halfway through point C, but their attacks have looked so bad so far in this series that they're really going to need, I think, to dig deep a little bit to make this one work. And it's a very different map than the other ones, than Volskaya, than Blizzard World, but what do you think?
I mean, Paris has been looking really good with their double sniper or their Mei Orisa Hog defenses. So, yeah. I mean, part of it is just how well Paris has been playing on these defensive rounds. This time, though, it's Jake on Genji, something we've seen in the past, but not in a while.
All right, I like it. They've got Raucus on the Ana as well, so the possibility of a nano-boosted Dragon Blade is certainly there. The possibility of picks too. You can do things like reflect the damage from Hanzo and Widowmaker right back in their faces as well with that Genji. So there's a lot of uses for it here. Certainly be elusive on a map like this.
Yeah, he doesn't have the cooldown up to reflect right now. Used to check onto Soon. Now he's going to come in and try and take out Shadowburn.
Now that's that chase down. Nearly got him. The Mercy wasn't there, and he might still get him. Dash cooldown not up though. He used it to engage. So now they're able to finish him off with that Mercy Wrench. Finzi gets hit with the anti-heal, and he does not escape Kumat with the kill, but Soon comes in with one on Namuma. It's gonna be tough to push that one. Whoa, nice headshot and a finish from Soon onto Lynxer, winning that 1v1. Great down. So Paris Eternal trying to hold on, and they will be able to do that for now.
Yeah, 2 supports in the Genji left alive. Can they get any exit kills? That's what they're trying to do, so that they would have a player advantage, but Jake can't pick one up, and instead, the stagger comes through on the Boink as Finzi moves around the corner to land the hook.
Yeah. Jake came close to making a couple big picks in that round, but just barely couldn't do it. He's most of the way to a Dragon Blade, and Raucus does have his nano boost, so they might not have to wait too long to try to go for that combo.
Gonna see the imprecise pop first. Soon's gonna use his a little bit later.
Yep. With a shot, and he gets one. Not a headshot though. Raucus though, down anyways. Shadowburn finds one with the Storm Arrow.
That's a resurrectable position though. If they can get to him in time. No, they can't. Timeout. Timer comes back before we see Boink able to move to the other side.
I was gonna say, we can't call timeouts, Monty. We don't have that power as casters.
Yeah, nicely.
Dragon Blade, the execution comes in onto Shadowburn. Man, there was no escaping that headsman's axe. Raucus finishes off Cloudy, so Houston Outlaws stopping Paris so far. They might be able to get some distance here, but Lynx are down. Jake trying to go wild, though, gets a kill on Soon, and now Coolmat walks in with the whole hog. That payload is gonna move. That should be point A.
Yeah, Desperation Dragon Strike basically from spawn for Shadowburn. Slow moving though, the battle was already over by the time the double dragons get there. And he's gonna stay on the Hanzo, so it ends up not being high value. There will be a back spawn here for Finzi after the point is taken. So there's a brief opportunity here for Outlaws to take a lot of space in this 6 versus 5 that they have.
Yeah. Oh, Soon activates the Venom Mine. Didn't quite get a kill before he walked up to it. That means Lynx is going to know where he is for a little bit anyway. Shadowburn with the kill on the point, though. There goes Jake. So good start to the defense here. That's going to stop Houston cold and give Paris a chance to regroup.
Houston had a chance to, I think, play that a little bit more aggressively, but they may not have been aware that Finzi was so far away when that payload door was opening. Yeah, it can be hard to keep track of some of those back spawns. So here we go. Houston Outlaws once again pressing forward here. No major ultimates. They're going to have to wait for that nano boost. Jake's working his way up to another Dragon Blade.
That worked pretty well last time. And at any moment, those Dragon Blades can end up getting 3 or 4 kills there. Dragon Strike coming in, that's a lot of damage on Namuma, but both he and Coolmat managed to escape. Lynx are, though, not so lucky. Finzi with a kill there, and there goes Jake. So, Finzi again, making plays 3 as the cleanup begins. This defensive fight here. We've talked a lot about Soon, but I think Finzi has had a pretty awesome day as well.
Yeah, he has had a really good day, and he's gonna drop some crouches on them just for good measure. Dragon Strike to open up that fight, isolated Lynxer and Jake in front of it, the rest of the tanks and supports behind, so good job by Paris to collapse onto the DPS heroes. Outlaws, though, now coming in with 5 ultimates. Finzi, they have to have a good Roadhog here just to push them back. Cruz also has to be really careful about this Nano Blade that's gonna come through.
Yep, very true. The hook does not land for Finzi. Just doing that shield damage while he can. Oh, he gets hooked though. Take a breather, runs out right away with that damage reduction. So you can escape sometimes. No hook out of that Hulk.
Here we go.
So Nano Blade reflecting its use right away. Gray can't escape. That whole hog though does push Jake away after just 1 though. Soon with a kill onto Lynxer, so they trade 1 for 1, and now the resurrection comes in onto Gray. So Paris still in this one. Oh, that's, as I say that though, both Shadowburn and Soon fall, so Paris still getting shoved back, but that is a big Bionade onto Houston.
It's a 4 versus 4 right now, so Paris Eternal trying to hold on to this hard point. Jake walking up with the Reflect.
Yep, that's a lot of damage to have to deal with if you're Paris. And they keep having to give ground. That's gonna be nearly a kill onto Gray.
I mean, they need their damage dealers back. Paris is trying to buy time for Shadowburn and Soon to return.
Yep.
Soon on a long flank around the backside of the formation. He fights Boink.
And that is exact play you need Soon to make right now. Lynxer does get the kill onto Shadowburn though. So they've nearly got the payload to the end of B anyway. Now Jake going after the sniper. Soon backs away. Reflect set up. Soon down to the dash. Paris Eternal though. Oh, nice sleep dart onto Jake. But he manages to get out, cruise down, and Houston will not be stopped. They are going to take point B.
Yes, they are. Houston Outlaws had a little bit faster respawns. Paris Eternal soon tried to surprise them by taking a long flank around. Managed to pick off the Mercy and Boink, but it just wasn't enough. The Outlaws collapse on the front, take the objective. As you can see right now, pretty far away to go. The Eternal did manage to make it almost all the way to the end of the map.
Yeah.
Houston Outlaws looking to try and complete with about half the time that the Eternal had on point C.
Well, that's the thing. You come into this with about 2 minutes instead of 4 minutes. It's a rough situation for the Houston Outlaws to be in. They need to make plays, and they need to make them fast. And Paris Eternal has a good amount of ultimates coming online. All right, but Houston does still have that Dragon Blade. Oh, but Muma gets pulled in. They're going to need to wait.
And one of the important things that just happened is that Nano Blade was available. Cruz did not have the Valkyrie. So that makes you a lot less vulnerable to that Nano Blade because you can reposition yourself a little bit easier.
Yep.
And so now Cruz is going to have the Valkyrie for this next fight. Houston Outlaws coming back in. Nano Blade, all they've got right now. And remember, Paris Eternal, once they've been in these close range situations with Shadowburn's May, they've been doing very well.
Dragon
Here we
Blade.
go.
It gets used. Rockets gets a nano boost on him just in time. He walks forward, but Pincy takes him out. The coordination just barely not there for the Houston Outlaws to make a play out of that one. They're on the payload. They're trying to just grind their way through it, but Muma gets frozen there, and he's not going to live. And now Finzi just walking forward with that whole hog, and we are down to just about 40 seconds remaining for Houston Outlaws to try to stay alive in this series.
Yeah, Cool Matt also gets demeched, and he's not going to have a chance in order to die right now. It's only 15% here. Has to switch off over to the Roadhog. Realizes D.Va's not going to be working right now. Coming back in. Last chance here for the Outlaws. They're going to have to win 2 or 3 consecutive fights in order to push this payload far enough.
Yeah, they're going to have to do it against a lot of fast respawning enemies, too. It's going to be tough. Going to jump right down there with the Blizzard. Uses the Ice Block. There goes Raucus. Jake does get the kill into Soon, though. Paris Eternal. Again, they've got the respawns, they've got the positioning. Jake with the kill into Shadowburn, though. Houston not done yet. The res came in under Raucus, so the payload is moving. Paris Eternal can give some ground, though. We're into overtime. They don't need to be over-aggressive here.
Yeah, Jake making the big plays to keep his team inside this battle. Soon now with the Infrasight out, but Houston Outlaws not perturbed by that. Lynx are also switching over to the main at the moment.
Oh!
Soon hits him while he's trying to get back to his team.
That's what they needed. That's exactly what they needed. Houston Outlaws, though, still pushing forward and Gray down. They want to get to that map 5, but here comes a whole hog from Finzi.
Whole hog pushes him off the
Get
cart.
on the payload. That's the thing. There was no Genji for the Reflect anymore, so the whole hog just pushed him off, and that means Paris Eternal will win this series 3-1.
That's right, Doa Eternal still in the hunt for that play-in. They're going to take their first victory, their first team here to win in that 2-2-2 roll lock meta that we have in this stage of the Overwatch League.
Doing it in style, too. I mean, really showing us the possibilities of what this meta brings, kind of the possibilities of the past, really, where you get to work in heroes like the main, like the double sniper again, like the Tracer that we saw a little bit earlier. And certainly some good plays from the Outlaws as well during that series, but it's just the attacks, right? The attacks need work. If those can get there, that's a team that can still be competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. Really good play by Paris there at the end.
That's right. So let's send it down to Mika, who's standing by with Soon to get some thoughts on that series.
Thanks, guys. Give it up for Soon and our classic Soon cheer. There it is. Love to hear it. So now that roll lock in 2-2-2 is implemented, Shadowburn is your damage partner in crime. So what's it like working with him up on stage?
Yeah, it's my bro. So we're playing together, and I'm really happy to play with him.
Nice, and you guys are a really good duo together. It's been pretty good for you. And Paris hasn't really hit their stride yet this season, but Stage 4 is still here. Do you think that this is you guys' time to shine and we're going to be seeing you sweeping the floor with other teams?
Of course, it's the last stage, so we're going to give everything, and we're good individually, so we're going to do the best and try to work on the team play.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Soon, and thank you so much, Paris Eternal. Monty and Doa, back to you.
Thank you, Mika. That was a great series. That was a great series to start off this new stage with. I think we're in for like a ton of fun from here on out. I love Roblox. I'm so happy about this. I'm going to be honest.
I think everybody is.
Let's take a look at the season standings overall to see where this puts us. As we said earlier, the Houston Outlaws and the Paris Eternal both in the hunt for that at least 12th place position to get into the play-ins at the end of the season. Houston Outlaws, though, in danger. They need to start getting some wins.
Well, I mean, really, all of these teams, 11th place to 18th place, are all within 1 or 2 wins of each other. So it really is going to be a tight, tight race into our play-ins that is going to end Stage 4. So really exciting for many of these teams. And of course, teams still on the outside, Spitfire has a chance to lock in a playoff seed potentially this season if they get into that top 6.
Right.
So we could see still a lot of movement as we close out our regular season.
Well, it's time, Monty. It's time to crown our player of the match by Omen by HP. And who else could it be today? It's Soon. That's right. Bringing back the DPS. He's back. DPS is back. The Widowmaker. Taking names, clicking heads, delivering Paris the win.
Especially that Blizzard World performance where his team had 60 elims, he had 34 and 25 of those final blows. 34% of his team's damage on that map as well. Really good performance by Soon today.
Yeah.
Sure, a lot of the old Soon fans are quite happy. It was everything we expected in a Soon match. Some backcapping, some hard carrying. It was some good stuff.
Look at that. Scope critical hit accuracy, 32% too. That is a really solid number for that stat. And shout out to Finzi, who's, I think, honorable mention for the MVP of that series as well. Great on the Roadhog.
Yeah, and the whole team excelled in those defensive situations where they could use the Mei. We saw that on the point C of the last map, Junkertown, as well as the 2 full holds that we had. So really good stuff from the Paris Eternals, feeling already comfortable at the start of this stage.
Sure enough. So guys, don't go anywhere. We're just getting started here at the Overwatch League. That's right. It's going to be the LA Gladiators taking on NYXL when we come back. That series is going to be insane. I can't wait to be able to be back in the Tracer. I hope. Please give it to me, New York. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with another series right after this.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.